What's going on, guys? Mecha-ish here from the Spider-Man Legends Sandman Build-A-Figure wave. I have Spider-Man 2099. Let's do it. Welcome back, guys, to the Marvel Legends action figure review. And from the Spider-Man Legends Sandman Build-A-Figure wave, I have Spider-Man 2099. Now, he is the last figure I'm reviewing before we get to the Sandman Build-A-Figure, which I'm super excited about, and I kind of saved the best for last, in my opinion, because he has such a cool design, and I can't wait to take him out of this package. Now, this future Spider-Man comes in the same window box packaging that we all know from the other Marvel Legends figures. We do have the Build-A-Figure Marvel Sandman, you got the Spider-Man emblem, you have the Legends series logo, a nice view of the awesomely cool looking Spider-Man 2099, and it looks like the right arm of the Sandman Build-A-Figure Marvel Spider-Man, and it says Multiverse Spider-Man, which he shares with Spider UK. Then you have the nice looking artwork of Spider-Man 2099. Now at the back you have Spider UK and Spider-Man 2099 posed up right next to each other. At the top left you see the Marvel Legends series logo, and at the right it says across time and space, these web-slinging wall crawlers take on the bad guys and fight for universal justice. And towards the bottom you have the entire lineup needed to build the Sandman Build-A-Figure. Check out my reviews on all of the other figures I have already done. Alright, so let's take this Spider-Man 2099 outside of this box, and let's see what he's all about. Now here is Spider-Man outside of his packaging, and I love this figure, guys. I mean, just from the body mold, the awesome design, the paint applications, he looks awesome. But we're going to talk about that in a little bit. He stands at about 6 1/4 inches in height, and of course he comes with the gigantic right arm of the Sandman Build-A-Figure. Now let's take a closer look at Spider-Man 2099. I am in love with the character design of this Spider-Man 2099, and I think they have executed it so well here. The white, the ruby red metallic, you got that dark gray coloring all around this figure, just looks so nice. Now starting off with his head sculpt, I do love the way they have these eyes sculpted over. You can see the layer on top of all of that white, which is done nicely again in that metallic ruby red, which is painted so symmetrically. And then you have these sculpted in lines going down his cheek and going across his mouth, almost like a frowny face, and that is also nicely done. And then you can see the sculpt of his nose, his side profile is well done, and of course you have the rounded head up top. And the clean paint applications continue on as we go down his torso. That ruby red metallic is just popping right off of that white background, and I love the design of this skull with the spider legs at the bottom. Even the paint on the inside of his butterfly joint here, as you can see as I move it in and out, is also decently painted. I do have some minor paint chipping on the right side of his ribs here by his leg, but it's not too bad. You can see some of the white bleeding on through, but it does not take away from the menacing look of this symbol. He does have some extra paint detailing on the sides of his torso here with just some line work, nothing too special, but it is in line with his character design. And very clean paint work going all the way down his torso. As you can see, the white and the dark gray here nicely separated. And when looking at his back, you can see some more of that symmetrical paint work done with the lines going down his back. I do have a little paint chipping here and over there, but it's not too bad. You got very clean paint work here with the ruby red again, and then you have a little touch of blue at the bottom of his shoulder, and then you have just this dark gray plastic leading to his forearms with a nice clean white, and then you have his red blades painted in there, matching in with the lines on the top of his forearms. Now these lines are actually sculpted in at the top, which is well done, and then you have this flexible plastic for his blades. At the top of his right fist, you can see some of the red did not quite make it, as some of the white is bleeding on through, but for the most part it is nicely done with all of that white across the tip of his knuckles. And then going down his fingers, you see little touches of red, those very thin red lines going all the way down, just more of his character and costume design. And of course we have some nicely sculpted fists. I am also a big fan of this body mold being used for Spider-Man 2099, where he looks a lot bigger and wider, at least, than this black suit Spider-Man that I just recently reviewed, but at the same time he still maintains that slender build here, as you can see from his side. And the musculature sculpted in the mold, it's just so nicely done. You can see some there by his ribs, his abs are nicely done. You do have some very fine detailed sculpt work here at the center of his chest, and even on the inside of that butterfly joint there leading onto his shoulders. Now this fantastic sculpt goes all the way down his legs, as you can see all that musculature done in that darker gray plastic leading up to his boots, where you have some more clean paint applications. I love the highlight of that ruby red metallic going all the way on the side, down the middle, and then you have all that bright white, which is so clean, and a little touch of blue to match the blue at the bottom of his shoulder, right here on the edges of his feet. And you have a little more sculpted in line work going on the side of his boots. Now the articulation for the Spider-Man, he has a ball hinge joint which allows rotation all the way around. He can extend his head all the way up, and he can look all the way down to the tip of his chest. Now at his shoulders, he does have this extra joint which allows for greater range of motion, with his shoulders going backwards and forwards to allow for a more dynamic posability. And of course he has your your standard rotation at the shoulders as well, plus a hinge which allows for extension going all the way up like that and down to the side. We do have a bicep swivel, a double jointed elbow, a rotation at the wrist, and of course we have that hinge at the wrist. And while I have him in this position with his chest all the way expanded, again you can see the great paint job done on the inside piece of that articulation joint, whereas it would normally be hidden underneath his chest mold. Now he does have an ab crunch which allows for great forward motion and an arch of his back a great amount as well, but what I really appreciate about this is that while you go downward and upward, they continued on with the paint of his leg so it doesn't break in the design. We do have a 360 waist swivel, and it sounds like mine has a little bit of ratchety action going on there. Now you got the hip joint that is standard for the Marvel Legends, whereas you get minimal leg extension going backwards as the sculpt of his leg bangs into the sculpt of his bottom. We can kick up to the side a little bit more, but we can get the full range of motion going all the way up like that. We do have a thigh cut rotation, double jointed knee. We have a boot cut rotation, a hinge at the ankle going downward, upward, and of course we have the beautiful ankle rocker rotation. And of course, if you're having any trouble standing this guy, he does have 2 peg holes at the bottom of his feet. So here I wanted to give you guys a quick glimpse of the 2099 Spider-Man side by side. Of course, you have the classic one on the left, and then you have the newer version on the right. So a lot has happened in the year 2099, but this looks awesome. So there you have it, guys, my video review of the Spider-Man Legends Sandman Build-A-Figure Wave Spider-Man 2099. I absolutely love this figure. They have nailed it, and I'm so happy to add him to my Spider-Man Legends collection. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me. I hope you enjoyed this video. Leave a thumbs up and check out my channel for other reviews I have done. They have so many cool things coming your way, so make sure you all like, subscribe, comment, and share. You know what to do. Peace.